Pierson Jeffries Cigar and Coffee Lounge presents The Chimney Effect. With your host, Jeff, also known as El Jefe, Mike, also known as Big Smoke, and Lance, also known as Be More Smooth.
Hello, I'd like to welcome everybody to the next edition of The Chimney Effect. I'm sitting here with my boys, Big Smoke, Lance. We have a special guest, Mr. Frederick White. How's everybody doing?
So far, so good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year, fellas. Great.
Today we are smoking the Perfecto, the first Habano that I released about 3.5, 4 years ago. It is a Nicaraguan Corojo Habano. It's a Nicaraguan binder and a Dominican and Nicaraguan filler. We're also drinking some Perfecto Espresso, which is a 3-bean espresso that I think pairs up very well with this cigar. How you guys like this cigar? Is it a little nutty for you?
It's extremely nutty and it pairs well with this coffee, as you said. What size are we smoking today, boss?
We're smoking a 6.5 by 52, a classic Toro. Now, Toro, again, in the cigar world, can be a 6 by 52 or 6.5 by 52. When I say that, I mean it's 6 or 6.5 inches, and it's a 52 ring gauge, which is how round and fat the circumference of the cigar, for those who didn't know. And the coffee, again, is hot. It's wintertime, so it's a great match for this Friday evening here at Pierson Jeffries. Again, we're at Pierson Jeffries, 925 Providence Road in Seacane, PA. And if you want this Perfecto Habano, you can find it here at the shop, or you can go online to PearsonJeffries.com and buy all you want. This is a great Toro that when my shop first opened, I sold these for $15, but online you can find them for $9.50 or $10, depending on the size.
Now, my boy Rodney Montgomery, God rest his soul, used to call me the king of useless information. What I find very interesting about cigars is when they say 7 or 6.5 by 54. Was this 52?
This is a 52.
6.5 by 52. The 6.5 is actually done in the American measurement in inches, and the 52 is actually done in the metric system.
Absolutely.
It's a millimeter. So you got one standard of measurement up against the other.
This is a pure medium body Habano. It will have a little bit of spice in the center, but it's going to be nice and sweet. It's going to go well again with the coffee. And it was a big, big hit when I first opened the shop. Matter of fact, I can say that Be More Smooth over there, this was the first cigar that he had when he came to the shop.
Absolutely.
Because he gave me the short look when I asked him what he usually smoked. And he said, Liga 9, correct?
100%.
And I gave him a Perfecto, and he said, wow, this is a great cigar. And before he left 3 years ago, he bought 4 more.
Oh, wow.
So he was impressed with it.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I think a note I get that you didn't mention, I get a little coffee in it, little coffee note.
That should enhance the coffee note actually in the cigar should be enhanced by the espresso.
Yeah.
Really should. And you can pick up, again, both at PearsonJeffries.com.
I don't know what I'm getting out of it. It's funny because I'm enjoying the coffee more than I'm enjoying the cigar during cigar hour.
Well,
great coffee.
I'm glad the coffee is great. I'm really enjoying this cigar right now. It's burning well. It's smooth. It's not heavy on the palate. It's leaving a nice lingering taste on the upper roof part of my mouth. It's actually very good. I haven't really sipped the coffee yet, but I sipped a little when we were making it. But I know it's going to pair very well.
Absolutely.
Now, we're sitting here today with Fred Whiten. Fred is the former president of 100 Black Men and the founder and the CEO of Mentoring Works. Welcome to the podcast, man.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to comment on this cigar and this coffee. It's a great combination.
Please do.
I'm a coffee drinker, and I have to tell you, before we started the podcast, that this was very strong and tasty at the same time.
Robust, huh?
Very robust. And when I blended it with the cigar, the taste became even more enhanced, especially the aftertaste.
Okay.
So I'm appreciating this. I'm having a good time here. After a long week, this is a great way to unwind.
Did you have a good holiday?
Well, no, I didn't have a good holiday because I had the demon flu on me. I got sick.
Okay.
And as an older person, man, when you have to be careful with that because I was down for 3 weeks.
Wow.
And me being down for 3 weeks is almost like torture.
I'm sure.
But I'm back on my feet again, thank God. I'm vertical. I'm back on my A game again. And the only thing I want to say is, put me in, coach.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Tell me about 100 Black Men. What is the purpose of 100 Black Men, and when did they start?
Well, a long time ago, about 35 years ago, 100 Black Men started out of a situation in New York. Some brothers were protesting about civil unrest in the city, and they went down to City Hall to talk to the mayor, and unfortunately they couldn't get in, but one of the mayor's representatives came in, told the mayor that they had some black men out there, and they wanted to see them. And so the mayor said, well, how many is it? He said, it's about 100 black men out there. And from that expression, the name got born.
Wow.
Okay, and from little acorns, mighty oak trees grow. And from that incident and that situation with the mayor, these brothers decided to band together. And as they band together, it started to grow. The next chapter was in Atlanta. Next chapter was in LA. And today there's 107 chapters around the country, in London and in Caicos, and there's going to be one starting up soon in Africa.
Wow. And so we're talking about an incident in 1985?
Yes. So you never know where your blessings come, but because of the dedication and the commitment of these brothers, they refused to sit down and did it in another way. And so every year we have an international conference. It sometimes is in Las Vegas, sometimes it's in Atlanta, sometimes it's in Jacksonville. But what we do is we motivate young men to believe what they see is what they'll be. So it's not just talking the talk, it's walking the walk. And as these young people see us interact with each other like a brotherhood, sort of like the way Pierson Jeffries is. When brothers come in here, they embrace each other, and it's almost like a culture. Okay, so people who, just like the sign on your wall says, some people enter as guests, but they leave as friends.
Yes.
Well, through the years, these brothers have developed real deep friendships with each other, like a fraternity. And this attitude has shown young people that you don't have to just hear what we say, but look how we interact. And research indicates that we learn a lot from what we see.
How would a person become a member?
Well, there's several ways. First of all, the chapter in Philadelphia is about 12 years old. And I started the chapter in Philadelphia, and it was, I met a brother at a party. And we started talking about the plight of young black men. And as we started talking more and more, I looked at him in his eye, and he looked at me in mine. I said, I'm serious. He said, I'm serious too. And we shook hands and started our venture together.
Okay.
The chapter here in Philly actually started about 20 years ago, but it was not made up of leaders who are of the proper mindset.
Okay.
And so like anything else, water seeks its own level. And those guys had to go away, and it started up again. And so when I met this fella at a party and we shook hands, we decided that we were going to do this. So as we started our journey together and rose the chapter from the ashes again, like the phoenix, we started this journey, and it wasn't easy. Now, in order for someone to join the chapter now, all they have to do is go to the website, the number 100 Black Men Philly.org. And when they go to the website, they'll not only learn about the chapter, and what we do, but they'll learn after they read all of the activities that we have. There's a link on how you can complete the application. We have 5 areas that we focus on in the development of a young person. One is leadership. One is economic development.
Mm-hmm.
I know you know about that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Can't do anything without the finance.
All right. So we do economic development. We do health and wellness, because a lot of times we're ignorant to the things that we should do to stay on this planet a little longer. And the last 2 are mentoring and, of course, education. We give our free scholarships for people who want to go to college. We show you how to go to college for free.
Wow.
When you go to college, we stick with you to make sure that you finish. If you don't have any suits, a lot of us, when we go to college, we don't have any suits, so we donate suits to you. We shepherd you and mentor you while you're in college. We have a collegiate program component. One of our collegiate programs is at Cheney University. We're starting one at Lincoln. And as we move into the Philadelphia area, we'll be doing Temple and the natural city colleges, like Community College and LaSalle. So I'm hooked on this because I believe there, but by the grace of God, go I. Okay, first generation college, not knowing what to do or how to do it. Somebody had to take me by the hand and show me how to uplift myself. And as I go around the room and talk to the brothers in this room, I'm sure that Stu and Lance and you have had somebody in your life that have taken you by the hand and shown you the way.
Absolutely.
From that experience, you now are obligated to show somebody else the way. So I'm proud to be here, and I could talk about this until October.
I'm sure, man. I'm sure. The one thing else I want to ask is I know you say you can go right online and sign up and become a member of 100 Black Men. Is there any other duties that you require from a new applicant? Is there a fee associated with it? And how anybody can whether they want to join or not, what can they do to help? What do you guys need?
There's a couple areas that you can do, you can demonstrate to show your commitment to the development of young Black men. Some people are real busy, like yourself. You're running a business, you work 25 hours a day. You may not be able to devote the hands-on time that is needed for a young man. So there's 2 options for you. One, you can just partner with the organization. And as you know, I've brought young people out here in our Quality Men's group to meet some of the brothers here. And these guys were impressed with the camaraderie that was at this shop. And there's tiers. To come in on the base level is $300 a year, which is one of the cheapest in the country, because Atlanta is $5,000.
Wow.
Sheesh.
$5,000.
$5,000.
You can't tell me that while I'm drinking coffee, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry about
300 in Philly, $5,000 in Atlanta.
See, this is like a franchise, okay?
Okay.
And so we're 501c3. So how we run our organization here in Philly may not be the way we run it, where they run it in LA. Okay, and so we set our own rules and regulations. Of course, we have some primary regulations we have to stick with, like branding, etc. But the idea is the culture in Philadelphia is different from the culture in Chicago.
Okay.
So in that regard, we know how to navigate through the system here in Philly better than the culture in Minnesota. So with that being said, we're not trying to break anybody, but if a person wants to join and they don't have time like you to get involved, you can be a partner. Like we have partners in Channel 10, one of the television stations here in the city. One of the vice presidents can't come all the time, so he decided that he would pay his $300 and obligate himself to raise money for the benefit of the chapter.
Because it is a 501c3.
Because it's a 501c3.
And any money raised for the chapter that's given to them is written off, tax-wise.
It's written off.
Okay.
We have doctors who say, I got to pay all these taxes at the end of the year, but instead of giving it to the government, I'll donate it to 100 Black Men.
At least $300 plus worth. Okay.
So that's the idea. Because everybody can't come on every other Saturday. We meet with young boys every other Saturday. And one of the unique things about this chapter is that we have a parent organization. It's the only one in the country. Because we know that parents are the ones that have the juice, not the children. So we teach the parents how to impact the children better, then they in turn will raise the children better. So as we have these sessions every other Saturday while the children are learning leadership skills, the parents are in another part of the building bonding, experiencing, and developing a telephone tree and support across the week when we're not in session. And so this has become a very, very powerful component, and we're going to take it to the national conference to show other people around the other chapters around the country, how to start this unique treasure that's in their chapter.
Now I know you've been rapping for a minute, but I have to touch on the fact that some years back, after you retired, you started a company called Mentoring Works. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Mentoring Works is a program designed to provide experiences to young people who are in the dark. These are social skills. For example, some of the things that you learned when you were a young man, how to treat a woman, how to present yourself, how to interview for a job, how to shine your shoes, how to brush your teeth, how to study, how to do the basic things that separate a regular person from a gentleman. And so as I thought about this, I thought about the things that I had gone through and the blessings that were given to me through my parents, and saw that there was a real need in the community for people to learn, young people to learn these skills. So I launched this program, I launched this company, and I go into school systems and ask them if they would like for me to help their young people increase their attendance in school, increase their production, academic production while they're in school, how to develop more social skills, like how to honor a female. How to honor a female. Instead of calling them names and cussing, how to recognize that these are people who need respect and they're a part of you in the community.
We talk about that sometimes here when we amongst the bunch of brothers, and you'd be surprised that, you're talking 35, 40, 45-year-old men that still don't have some of those skills.
They don't have them. They don't know how to approach a woman. Okay. As a matter of fact, as you know, a while ago we had a men's group here at the shop, and that's one of the things that I learned. To echo what you're saying is that a lot of people just were not aware that when they go out with a lady, that they should treat them a certain way.
Well, you only know most of the time you only know what you've been taught. And if you can, in my opinion, if you can, I guess, regurgitate that information, if you've been taught well, it will come out well. Just my opinion.
Well, it's a lot of things that you see. A lot of times we become kind of, we talk too much. We lecture to young people. We lecture to young people and expect them to hear it. But research indicates when you start talking to somebody longer than 90 seconds, they're not listening to you anyway.
Well, Big Smoke has a theory on that. He talks to a lot of people here, and some of the younger guys that are in his organization. Stu is a Mason, and one of the things that you tell him about talking too much, man.
Can you like me?
Absolutely.
Well, I got a couple things that I say. What, you got 2 ears and 1 mouth? So you do twice as much listening as you do talking. That's one of them. And I say be quick to listen and slow to speak. I have a question for you, Fred. You've been doing this for many, many years.
Yes, sir.
And as time has changed, as technologies have changed, just how children socially interact. I remember I went to my daughter's Sweet 16 party. And when I went to my cousin's Sweet 16 party, we all danced together as a group. And now children don't dance, boy and girl anymore. They get in a circle and they take turns dancing. With the changes that they have experienced culturally, the phone, the computer, how they communicate and how they relate. What kind of challenges do you face as mentors with all those distractions?
The internet is like a big menu. And when you look at this menu, you can look at the dark side of the menu or you could look at the light side of the menu. So it's a matter of how you want to use all of this information to your benefit. You can sit at a table. I've sat at a table with young people and have actually seen them text each other from across the table.
Right.
That's unacceptable. Because as we demonstrate those types of behaviors over and over and over again, it reduces our ability to socially interact. And when we reduce our ability to socially interact, it impacts our vocabulary and how our people skills are getting reduced. So as an effort to stop that, I encourage young people to turn off the phone. And like we're doing now, just talk about something that is common to everybody. And as a result, you start to hear different ideas and thoughts and feelings because it's not just the content of what you say, it's the delivery of how you give it. And the affect that you give when you speak can make a person feel that you understand them, that it's wonderful, or they can take it as a matter of aggression. So I think technology is a beautiful thing, but it has to be used like everything else. Proceed with caution, develop it the way it's going to benefit you positively. Okay, we're sprinkled every day with negative influences. Every day, we're sprinkled with negative influences. And sometimes I have to go back to old school music like Curtis Mayfield.
Yeah, we do that here a lot.
Okay.
I get penalized for it sometimes.
What's that?
Going back to old school music. But you can come here one day and I can be listening to Nas, and the next day I'm listening to Miles Davis, and the next day I'm listening to
Tito Puente.
There you go, Tito Puente. And then the next day I'm listening to Ellis Marsalis. And then I'm listening to Curtis Mayfield.
Yes.
And then listen to Curtis Blow.
Exactly.
And then Curtis Blow?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
we all over the spectrum. We really are.
Yeah. And
No, at least once a week, brother. No, at least.
Yeah,
At least once a week.
Mm-hmm. We actually can. It's funny because you spoke about, people texting, kids texting. I mean, I believe that they're truly losing their communication skills. But Lance touched on something when he got here earlier. He said that in terms of social media, they're going to back out and allowing politicians to use social media to basically when they're running for office. Can you touch on that a little bit, man?
Yeah, so Facebook came under scrutiny for basically not stopping politicians from running ads that were flat out lies. So they were called out on it, and they said, we're going to allow them to do it no matter what. So now Twitter has come out and said they just will prefer to ban all political ads on their social media platform. So I had brought it up to Jeff. What did he think about it? Was that a good thing, bad thing?
I thought it was great. I think it's a way to keep politicians honest, because, don't get me wrong. You got the internet and you have TV and they can say and do whatever they want. And nobody really, except for their opponent, facts check them, basically.
Facts.
But, taking that social media aspect out of it, which gets information out there instantly, keeps them a little more honest, in my opinion.
It should keep them a little more honest. Nobody controls the internet. Nobody controls the internet.
Absolutely.
But Facebook, being a disseminator of information, there is a responsibility to be right and exact. And if you allow somebody to disseminate wrong information on purpose, they're borderline journalists, because there is a social responsibility when you talk about those that are asking to serve the public at large. They should be at least honest, because when they go and they take that oath of office, the first thing they're going to do is place their hand on the holy book, raise their right hand, and affirm in front of the public at large, the Almighty, that they're going to do the best they can and they're going to be upright and honest.
Well, here's the thing, man. It's funny because you just said that nobody controls the internet.
That's the internet. Facebook
I understand
it
that.
uses the internet.
I
Right.
understand they use it, but they're an extension of. They're
Correct.
like an arm. So
Correct.
by them saying that they are not going to allow politicians to basically campaign with ads on their platform.
No, they didn't say that. He's talking about Instagram.
No, Twitter.
No, Twitter.
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 Sorry,
Yeah,
Twitter.
Twitter.
And Twitter's instant.
Right.
It's instant.
Yes.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but Twitter is Facebook, right?
No, Facebook is a total separate
I thought Twitter.
social
I thought
media.
Facebook owned Twitter.
Yeah,
Who do they own?
I don't know who owns who. I know Zuckerberg owns Facebook.
I know that.
And I forget the gentleman at Twitter, but it's not Zuckerberg.
Okay. Well, what I'm saying is because they are like an arm, the extension, they provide you with the information instantly. And by them saying that they are not going to allow them to campaign or advertise while they are campaigning, in a sense, they are controlling the narrative in terms of what's being put out there. So it's an element of control, to me, the element of control, which I think is good.
Well, I think that the point is that you should fact check and make sure that what you put out is accurate. It's true.
They can't. Well, in that platform, they can't because, again, Twitter is instant.
Well, if you can't guarantee it to be true, then I think that you should back up off of it.
And if it comes out that it's not true, let's say they get the ad off, and they find out it's not true, it should be taken down. Facebook is saying no, we're going to let it run no matter what.
And that's my problem.
So Facebook is not one of the companies, one of the social media companies that's going to ban the ads. Just
No,
Twitter.
Just Twitter right now. Correct.
Okay. Do you think they're going to fall? They're going to fall suit? You think they're going to say, okay, if Twitter is doing this, then we're going to do it too?
No. Zuckerberg has made it clear that he has no intention to change the way Facebook is doing their business.
Okay. That says to me that he has his hand somewhere in politics.
And the CEO of Twitter is Jack Dorsey too. Just to
What do you think,
fact
Fred?
check.
I think that this coffee is good. I think this coffee is good when it's blazing hot and when it's lukewarm.
Yes, and when it gets cold, it's going to be even better.
Okay?
Really is.
So I'm just enjoying the combination of this cigar and this coffee. And when it comes to Twitter and Instagram, and I'm an OG, I stand erect and say, I have no idea what you're talking about. Right. I need to get tutored.
Okay, well, here's something that I think everyone should know. Everybody that's listening to the podcast. First of all, before I go on, how's everybody liking the cigar?
I'm loving it. I think I'm the hair in this race. I'm out there.
Okay.
I'm out there.
What about you, Lance?
For me, I love it, man. It's the sweetness is starting to pick up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It almost backdoors you. You know, you take a puff, you get the earthiness, you get a little nuttiness, and then as you know, you blow the smoke out, that sweetness just creep up in the rear and backdoors you.
Do you think it's a bargain at $9?
Absolutely. But if you mention my name when you come here,
Yes.
you get it for $8.50.
Yeah. Only if you buy 5.
I got a different set of adjectives, man. I think the cigar is smooth. It doesn't bite me as I draw on it.
For sure.
It's very smooth.
Okay, it's very smooth. I think if you're on the fence and not sure if you like it or not, whether you want to try it or not, I'd ask you to jump in the water and try it. You always try something new, and I think that you walk away pleasantly surprised.
I appreciate that, man. It
Okay.
is really a very non-offensive cigar. It's not going to lay on your palate. It's not going to be heavy. It's a pure medium body cigar. It's going to be very smooth. It's very easy to smoke. And if you ever smoked anything else besides cigars, you won't inhale this.
No, you
Not
don't
at all.
inhale it.
And if you do, it's not going to kill you.
It's not going to kill you, but
Yeah.
make sure you get a cup of coffee to go with it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Now, you know what I find particularly curious about Pierson Jeffries cigar? When most people smoke cigars, I think they expect to get, like Fred mentioned, very bitter, harsh, flavor, taste, heavy on the palate and everything else. I think the first time I smoked here and I sat down, I said, my brother, you have a particular flavor profile
You did.
that that when you produce a cigar. As he got in the lab like a mad scientist and started putting more complex blends together, and his flavor profile changed as he got a lot more complex. The more cigars he produced, the more we enjoy them because they're never heavy on the palate. It never punches you in the mouth. One of the things about a bad cigar, and I know I've had them, where every time you smoke, you wind up having a mouthful full of saliva and having to spit a lot.
Yeah.
You've been there before.
Absolutely.
You've been there before.
And my question is, why smoke it? That's my question.
Well, listen. Well, when you pay $8, $9, $10 and you bought it,
Why smoke
you darn well are going to finish
it. Absolutely.
Absolutely, you
I'm
darn
a
well.
snob. I
Well,
don't care.
absolutely.
I'm going to throw it away.
Well, who gave you the moniker cigar snob?
Just like we said about 20 minutes ago, when you know better,
We do better.
there you go.
But like the great Leon Muhammad says, I come up from the muck, baby.
Okay,
If I spent that, I'm gonna smoke that.
fair enough.
You know what I mean? I didn't have the luxury of crushing it back then because A, you don't know when you're gonna get back to the cigar store,
Absolutely.
and just looking at it. You know how I started buying cigars? I started buying cigars based on the way the label looked. I think that's how we all start.
I'm King Label.
I think that's how we all start. And then you go from that to the color of a cigar. If it looks good, it look like it, because you don't know anything. You don't know anything. You just taking a wild guess. And then you start to get into different, as you experience different things, then you get into brands, and then you start to get into Maduros, Habanos, Cameroons, Connecticut's,
Flavor
profile, and then you find out the things you like and the things you don't like and the things you think you like. And I've come here, and like I said, I pretty much smoked just about everything. And I know what's a good cigar. I know what's a bad cigar. I know what's overrated. I know what's overpriced. And lucky for the general public that the cigars that are produced by PiersonJeffries.com not only are at the correct price point, I'm afraid to say that that I would put his cigars up against the $19, $20 cigars, and he comes up on top every time.
Let me echo something that you just focused on. Anybody can have a customer come in one time and smoke hay and say, okay, I'm out. But one of the things that I've noticed over the last few years is that Jeffrey's customer base is growing. And that's because the product stands for itself.
Absolutely.
And as people come to smoke the cigar, they're so impressed that they want to come back again and again and again. So I think that speaks to the quality of the product. Not only the quality of the product, but the atmosphere inside the shop, because it's never threatening, it's always welcoming. You can always come in for a great cup of coffee, wink, wink, okay? And I think that more and more people need to know about this opportunity. So with that, I know that there are brothers inside of the 100 Black Men of Philadelphia that are going to hear this podcast, and they're going to come and say, Fred, show me where it is, or take me out there. Because sometimes you have to bring people by the hand to show them where it is, but after that, they're here all the time.
Well,
Absolutely.
100 Black Men, man, if they have, if they are cigar smokers, anybody cigar smokers is always welcome to come to Pierson Jeffries. at 925 Providence Road in Seacane, PA. But we also would like them to come if they're entrepreneurs, because since we've been open, we have developed 3 new entrepreneurs that have started their own business.
Is that right?
Yes, and they are growing. They're making progress.
Is that right? What kind of
we have one
businesses?
guy that started an HVAC company. He works for SEPTA. We had another person that was a trucker, basically, over-the-road trucker, that started a cosmetic company. And we had another guy that's based in the military. He works for SEPTA now, but he's actually started a logistics company. He does cleanouts, hauling. He has his first truck. And that's all from coming in and talking to people here that work for themselves and telling them that it's actually possible. The biggest issue for entrepreneurs is knowing that it's possible. They need to stick their toe in the water and try to make it work. Don't be scared of failure. Everybody fails. If you're not failing, you're not
trying.
Absolutely,
You're
man.
not. So being an entrepreneur is a mindset. You have to, I call it being bitten by the entrepreneur bug.
Sure.
After you retired, you were bitten by the entrepreneur bug. And I remember a statement that you said, and I'm going to say this statement: I can't go back. I can't go back. That's it. I done realized that I can actually go out here and do this thing on my own. I always knew it was possible, but once you do it, you can't go backwards.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you step out there, even if you fail, it's not really a failure. It is a lesson for you to learn to get back up and start it again. Because when I stepped out and I made a lot of mistakes and I failed, I don't want to use that word fail. I just say I learned a lesson.
You had to tweak your formula.
The people that I met, and this is a culture too, when you start a business, there are people that want you to succeed. There are people that really want you to succeed because they've succeeded and they know where you are. So it's like a frat, like a culture. I remember when Jeffrey started, I couldn't do enough for him. Okay, he plays chess. So I said, I got some chess sets I want to bring out. I got some customers. I went to an Omega Sci-Fi picnic, and I find that I'm out there passing out information on Pierson Jeffries to help him get started, to help him get going, because I believe in him. And you find that a lot of people, when I started Mentoring Works, people saw the sincerity and the passion that I wanted to help young people with, and they would say, Fred, let me give you this contract. Let me take you over here. And the other thing is, you never know how long your shadow is. Sometimes people look at us and we don't know that they're looking at us. And we're impacting them. Remember, a lot of people learn through nonverbal communication.
Listen, I want everybody to be an entrepreneur. I know that's not possible. Entrepreneurship, anybody can do it, but it's not quite for everybody. But anybody can do it, anybody. And I will help anybody that wants to get started on their own. Just know that it's hard work. If you want to be an entrepreneur and believe that you're going to open your doors and make millions of dollars, then keep your day job. And even in the beginning, keep your day job, definitely, because you're trying to do something that you like, something that you're passionate about, but don't ever let it take away, especially in the beginning, from what you need to do for your family. I have to say that, because a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs, but they don't know what it takes to do it. And if you need to know or want to know what it takes to do it, come here to Pierson Jeffries. I'll sit and talk to you, and I will probably try to discourage you in the beginning to see how bad you actually want to do it. And if you prove to me that this is truly something that you need to do, then I'm all in with you.
For sure,
every day,
man.
all day.
That's one thing I say. You're definitely always willing to help people out. As time ticks on here, I would be remiss if I didn't apologize to you, gentlemen, because I had to leave last Sunday. I couldn't stay here to console y'all after those Eagles took that out, man.
Oh, we got to go there. We going there?
I'm sorry, man. My son wanted to watch some of the game with me, man. I had to go home, man.
Hey, listen, man.
It was a bad call.
Hey, man.
Hey, listen,
Excuse me, it was no call.
let's hope in Baltimore there is no black suit wearing, you know what I mean, mama singing and flower bringing.
Listen, a little earlier today, when Fred got here, I asked him, because, we always for some reason we always tend to segue into boxing. And I asked him who was his favorite boxer of all time. He told me who that was, but he also told me a fascinating story that I don't think anybody knows. I didn't know it, and I think the listening public should know. Now, first of all, Fred, who's your favorite boxer of all time?
It's a lot to pick from, man, but I got to tell you, I just love Muhammad Ali.
Great guy.
Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali stood up for what he believed in.
I used to call him the champ.
He is a champ.
I used to call him that.
Okay.
And can you first of all, you told me why. Can you tell me why? Well, first of all, you said because he stood up for what he believed. But tell them the story that you told me that I had no clue about.
One day I was looking at TV, and I'm channel surfing, and I happened to see Muhammad Ali on, and it was a young Muhammad Ali. And little did I realize it was a movie about something that he had done. Okay, and a lot of people didn't hear about this. But Muhammad Ali actually helped a young man from committing suicide. It was in the projects, and this young boy was up to here with frustration, didn't have a job, his girlfriend left him, he was had a baby on the way, the typical stuff. And he wanted to end it all and climbed up on this 1 billionth floor and stood outside and was ready to jump. Muhammad Ali saw him, came in, and started talking to him. And the movie evolved around the conversation that he had with this guy outside. Now, during the movie, the police, of course, came and wanted to bust the door down. And he said, no, don't do this, don't do this. And he continued to talk to this guy. Well, I thought it was just a storyline, a popular story about a popular guy. But I didn't think it was true. But at the end of the story, they actually showed photographs of Muhammad Ali leaning out of the window talking to the guy. Oh, by the way, the end of the story is the guy came in. Because he said, listen, if you come in and not jump, I will help you. Sound like Pierson Jeffries. I will help you. I don't have a whole lot, but I promise you that you'll do better if you come in. And of course, the guy said, why should I? Nothing to live for. And of course, the people down at the bottom on the street were saying, jump, jump, jump. But as time went by, the guy actually believed that there was hope, that there was something to live for, based on the convincing statements that Muhammad had made to this guy. And he came in, and I just don't think a lot of people know that story. I don't even know the name of the movie. Mm-hmm. Because when I turned it on, it was just a coincidence that it was on there.
Right.
And I was just very moved by that. And so that just further enforced or confirmed that I love this guy because he stood up for what he believed.
That he was truly the greatest.
Absolutely. He was the greatest.
You guys ever hear that story?
No, I never heard that story. But, you know, his uncle used to cut my hair when I was a kid. Mr. Clay, right there on 62nd and Lansdowne in West Philly. So my father and I in there, and lo and behold, who walks in? But the champ. Come to see his uncle. Now everybody telling me this is Muhammad Ali. That ain't Muhammad Ali. You know, he come up there, punch me in my stomach, mess around and everything. You ain't Muhammad Ali. And that was Muhammad Ali. Just one of the most personable individuals that you ever wanted to meet. Just a regular guy.
Just a regular guy.
Just a regular, he just happened to be, he's a regular guy from down the way who just happened to be the greatest boxer to ever live.
Okay. Tomorrow, we got divisional playoffs. Sunday, we got divisional playoffs. And by the way, tomorrow, Pierson Jeffries is releasing their second anniversary series called Dos Aniversario. And for those who don't know, it is a beautiful cigar. I've been working on it for over a year. It comes with a 2 to 3 year aged San Andreas Maduros wrapper, has a Dominican Piloto binder, and it has a Havana 2000, which is basically a Corojo, and some Dominican filler. It is a spectacular cigar. So once you hear this podcast, that cigar will actually be out already. You want to come in and give it a shot. It is a great, great cigar.
When is it? When are you looking to put it up on PiersonJeffries.com?
It will probably be up on PiersonJeffries.com under the
Ultra Premiums?
Yeah, under the Ultra Premium cigars, and I'll probably put it up in about a week. So if we're having the release party, which we're having here at the shop tomorrow, which will be January 11th. The cigar should be online no later than the 17th.
The Chimney Effect has been a presentation of Pierson Jeffries Cigar and Coffee Lounge, located at 925 Providence Road in Seacane, Pennsylvania. You can also find us online at PiersonJeffries.com.